Hi, I'm Dee.
I'm Nomi.
And we make animated documentaries about the criminal justice system. We believe in the power of animation to tell complex stories and reach new audiences. In 2016, our animated short documentary, Last Day of Freedom, was nominated for an Oscar. Recently, the film was used to influence Governor Newsom's moratorium against execution in California. And now we're making our first animated documentary feature, Run With It. Run With It explores the crisis in the criminal justice system and the US racial divide through the eyes of DeJaun Correia, a young black man on the dean's list at Morehouse College who grew up playing imaginary hopscotch with his uncle, Troy Davis, who mentored him from death row. But first, we want to tell you a little bit about ourselves.
We started working with families of prisoners of death row about 15 years ago. My first, and actually my only job out of art school, was producing courtroom media for death penalty cases with mitigation specialists. During that time, we met Martina, and later on, we met her son, DeJaun, when he was 15 years old. The film is deeply personal and as well as political for us. When I was a kid, my dad was arrested for a crime he didn't commit. Even though the case against him was dismissed, our family struggled for several years with the economic repercussions, with the stigma, doubt, and shame of his arrest. To tell DeJaun's perspective as a child is really important to me. We also have another very personal investment in the film and in the lives of young boys of color. When we started interviews, DeJaun and Martina, it was around the same time that we adopted a newborn son, Max, who is black, mixed race, and some of you may have seen him around. He's here at the retreat. As Max grows old, so does our understanding of parental fears and hopes. Our appreciation of the resilience in his families, and also our commitment to making this film.
We use animation to bring to life these stories in vivid and immediate ways, integrating multiple perspectives and time periods. Nomi and I create all animation designs and also drawings, and we anticipate that the film will have about 100,000 drawings in it. Animation provides a distance from trauma, yet simultaneously it creates an intimacy with our storytellers. Here's a short sample from Run With It.
When I first realized, I think I was maybe 10. My mom used to always tell me he was in the university, like Georgia University or something like that in Atlanta. I was like, well, what kind of college has bars? But I never really, put two and two together. And then that's when I finally asked, I was like, Mom, where is Troy? Seriously, or where? And she caught herself and she was like, okay, it's time to have a talk. She told me, he was in prison, and she never told me why. What she did was she had all the files and stuff that she had on the case and information, just put it in front of me. She was like, read. I was like, read what? Like, I can't pronounce some of these words. She said, read, like just read it. Read as best you can, and then ask me questions.
It was getting late, and we heard gunshots. I was just scared, and it was for sure somebody had got killed, and they said it was the police that got killed. I didn't know what to do, so I just didn't say nothing. I didn't tell them what happened at first because I was scared, and then I tried to tell them, and it was like it was too late.
That night, I turned on the television.
20-year-old Troy Anthony Davis, the man police say is responsible for murdering Savannah police.
Wanted, dead or alive, cop killer, Troy Anthony Davis. And there's a picture of my brother in a New York Yankees jacket that my husband had given to him. And I was like, did they say Troy Davis? It must be some kind of mistake. So I'm trying to frantically call my mom. She was away at church or something. I finally get over to my mom's house, and she said, the police came over here, and they had SWAT and everybody all over the rooftop saying Troy killed a police officer. I said, what are they talking about? There's no way. I mean, Troy wouldn't have done anything like that. My mom was petrified. The police had come to her house. They had the whole street blocked off. They threatened her and said, if you don't give us your key, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna kill your son. All I could think of was, we've got to tell Troy what's going on.
The manhunt for Davis continues. Police officers scoured the city, hoping to find their man.
It was something like out of a race riot movie, and we were the enemy.
Run With It gives new insight into Troy Davis's case, one of the most controversial racially charged cases in recent history. The film shows how Troy became trapped in the system and pays with his life. In 1989, Troy was accused of killing a white police officer in Savannah, Georgia. He was convicted only on eyewitnesses' testimonies. There was no gun, there was no DNA, there was no hard evidence. Over the years, 7 of the 9 eyewitnesses recanted their testimonies. They were never allowed to tell it in court. Troy's sister Martina fought for 20 years to prove her brother's innocence. Troy was executed in 2011. Martina died shortly after of cancer. Her son DeJaun was only in high school. Again, this is a story of resilience. It's a family working together to prove Troy's innocence and raise DeJaun to do well and succeed against extraordinary odds.
This story needs to be told now, as the crisis in policing and incarceration of young black men continues to rise, and the government reinstates the politics of harsh sentencing. We'll use the film to support a move away from harsh punishment, to training of police officers, and reallocation of resources to impacted youth and victims, and to introduce restorative justice. Run With It pushes the language of documentary while raising profound questions about race, justice, democracy, and our commitment to equality under the law.
Today we have completed exclusive interviews with Martina and DeJaun. DeJaun is committed to keep working with us. He's invested. Last month, we tracked down 2 of the original eyewitnesses. They were completely off the grid, they're off the map, and now they're willing to take part of the film. We also filmed DeJaun graduation on Morehouse, if anybody else saw it. In terms of what we need, I think it's all out there, but it's really important for us, and we really see this film as a leap into continuing, hopefully, a lifelong working as filmmakers. So we can talk about numbers later, but we just want to say it's important to us, and thanks so much for having us here.
Thank you to Creative Capital and to all the artists. You're amazing. Thanks.